welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Amanda. So in today's video, I've got some Easter side dish recipe ideas for y'all. We really enjoyed these recipes. These were all new recipes to us, so I think y'all are going to enjoy them as well. Now today's video is also really special because it's in collaboration with some of my friends here on YouTube. Valerie from The Hargett Life and I decided to host kind of like a potluck, progressive dinner, kind of whatever you'd like to call it there, where us and some other ladies have gotten together and we're basically each making a component of Easter dinner. So if you watch all of our videos, you'll actually get to see a complete Easter dinner, get you some ideas, and these recipes will work for any time, of course. But we've got Megan from Megan's Kitchen participating, as well as Sammy from Managing the Maze, and Taylor Elmore. They all have awesome channels. They're going to be cooking up some really delicious food for you. So make sure to check out all the details in the description box and check out the whole collab because it's going to be so fun. I cannot wait to see what everybody's made. So if you're coming over to my channel from the collab, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. And of course, if you're returning, I'm always glad to have you as well. I do all kinds of food content, what's for dinners, all that kind of stuff. It's really all about the food here. So if that sounds good to you, I'd love it if you'd hit that subscribe button and join my YouTube family. Make sure you turn on that notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video and you don't miss out on anything yummy coming up. So I hope you all enjoy this video, but let's go ahead and get into these recipes. So we're going to get started with our cheesy potato casserole, and this is also called funeral potatoes, but I kind of like cheesy potato casserole a little better than that name. So we're going to get started with some sour cream. This is actually 2 cups of sour cream, which is basically a 16-ounce container, and we're going to add in some cream of chicken soup, and again I'm using that unsalted chicken soup. We're also going to add just a little bit of salt and pepper to this, especially since I was using mainly unsalted ingredients other than the cheese. I went ahead and just added just a little bit of salt, and then I also added some onion powder in there. We'll get our melted butter added in here, and then we're going to stir this together. Once we get it stirred together really well, we're going to go ahead and add in our hash browns and our cheese, and these are just the cubed hash brown potatoes. And I recommend they be thawed. So the way I thawed them was just thawing them in my fridge overnight, and they were perfect the next day. You could also microwave them if you wanted to as well, just however you'd like to do it. And then I've got some shredded cheddar cheese going in there, and we're just going to get this mixed together well and put it in our baking dish. Now the recipe calls for 2 cups of cornflakes crushed, for the topping, and of course some more butter for that. The recipe actually asks you to use 5 tablespoons of butter for that. I feel like you could cut that down just a little bit or add more cornflakes if you like more crunch. And actually next time I think we'll add more cornflakes. So I really do like that crunch on top like that with the potatoes. And this was such a yummy potato dish. I mean, I love potatoes just about in any form. Let me know if you do too down in the comments below. Actually, all these recipes were new to me. I had not made any of these before, and it's always so fun to try new recipes, I feel like. And it's fun to find new favorites, and this is definitely something I enjoyed. I actually ate leftovers of this for breakfast, like with some ham, just a little bit of ham, and it was like such a yummy breakfast too. So even like with some eggs and ham, that would be good too. So I'm just getting that cornflake topping on there, and we're going to bake this in a 350-degree oven for about 40 to 50 minutes. This just goes together really fast and easy, and I think, it would be great to also prep ahead, and then you could go ahead and put it in the oven the day of, and so it would be really handy like that too. But here it is all nice and hot and bubbly out of the oven. So if you celebrate Easter, let me know in the comments down below what kinds of side dishes, what kinds of meal traditions you have. We don't have a whole lot of like traditional foods we do for Easter. We do more so for Thanksgiving, I guess, than any other holiday. But when the kids were younger, we used to always go to like KFC. They loved KFC, and that was where we typically went for Easter. And maybe you go somewhere out to eat too, so let me know that if you do that instead. So next up we have smothered green beans. For this recipe, I'm making about half the recipe, a little less than half, but we've got a couple of cans of green beans that we're putting in our baking dish. And now we're going to mix up our sauce, I guess you could say it is. So I've got some melted butter here, and we're adding some soy sauce to it, as well as some sugar and some garlic powder. And we're just going to mix this up and get that ready to put on our green beans. I'm also going to chop up that bacon back there, and that's just the pre-cooked bacon. So if that's all you have, that is fine. That's usually what we keep on hand. So we'll top the green beans with the bacon, and then we'll add this sauce over top of it, and it'll actually bake in a 350-degree oven for 40 minutes, and you don't cover it or anything like that. And y'all, these were so good. I was really worried because I'm hesitant on things with sugar in them because I'm not huge on sweet and savory together always. It kind of depends. There's a few things I like. This was so good though. The combination of like the salty bits of bacon and the soy sauce and the brown sugar. It was also good. The only thing I will do is reduce the sugar. And honestly, I think that may be because I used no salt added green beans and because there's no salt to counteract that additional sugar in there from the green beans. So I definitely think it's always great to make like I did it, or kind of a reduced portion on something you're not real sure about. And then that way you can kind of see and taste it and be like, okay, what do I need to change? How do I need to adapt this? Because so often you can just make a few changes. But look at this, y'all. It is so yummy. I cannot recommend it enough. Like I said, other than dropping the sugar down just a little bit, we are definitely going to make this again. So good. Next up, we have oven roasted sweet potatoes. And we're just going to get started slicing our sweet potatoes in about 1/4 inch slices. I took a guess. I don't know if I got very correct or not on that. But, you know, I tried to make them, you know, not too thin, but thin enough to where they could cook fairly quickly. And this is another thing you can prep ahead. I actually cut these the night before, and I left them in the fridge in that plastic bowl in the water like that, and that worked just fine. So if you do need to kind of cut some prep time off of the day of, that's really handy too. Now in this bowl, we're mixing together some ginger, cinnamon, and brown sugar, and we're going to put that on our sweet potatoes along with some melted butter. We're just going to brush the melted butter over each sliced potato, and then add some of our, you know, cinnamon sugar mixture, and then we're going to go ahead and flip them and do the same thing to the other side. Now you're going to bake these in a 375-degree oven for 10 minutes. Then you're going to flip them and bake them for another 10. Then you're actually going to broil each side. So you're going to broil one side for somewhere between 1 to 3 minutes, and then broil the other side the same thing. Keep a really close eye on them because, of course, you know, with a broiler, things can burn really easily. But I will say that the broiler really adds like a really neat texture to these because it kind of caramelizes that sugar, and you almost get like a little bit of like a chewiness in spots, and it's just really neat. Like I really like the texture of these. It tasted really good. Now I do really recommend that you line your pan with foil because the caramelization, you know, when you're doing the broiler in certain areas kind of like burnt, but not on the potatoes, but like actually on the foil. And I would really hate to have to try to clean that off of a pan. So that would be handy. You can kind of see it over there in the corner, but look at all of them. They're sizzly, and just that like caramelization of those sugars. This was a great way to prepare these. They were so yummy. So I definitely recommend it. It was really easy too. So nothing difficult at all. Just a couple of flipping them over, you know, and that type of thing. Great recipe though. I'll have all these recipes, of course, linked below in the description box. Now we've got our garlic Parmesan roasted Brussels sprouts. And y'all, these are an amazing way to fix Brussels sprouts. Like, we really enjoy Brussels sprouts anyways, but this is like elevates them to another level. It's so good. So I'm just starting with prepping my Brussels sprouts. I'm getting, of course, I've already washed them, but I'm getting their stem off and cutting them each in half. I'm adding some oil to my bowl along with some Italian seasoning, pepper, garlic, and Parmesan cheese. Now, I chose not to add any additional salt to this because I feel like the Parmesan cheese is salty enough, but definitely feel free to do that if you like. So we're just going to stir these up, get all that good and coated and everything kind of mixed together. And then we're going to layer them on our baking pan. Now, I did want to kind of get the crispy flat side, you know, cut side like I saw in the picture on the website. So I'm just flipping all these over and making sure they're all cut side down so they'll get that nice crispiness from where that cheese and the oil and all that good stuff is on there. So such a yummy way to prepare these. Now I will tell you the ones in the middle did not get as crispy, so I'm kind of showing you here. Some of those in the middle didn't seem like the cut side got quite as crispy, but they were all delicious. So thank y'all so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm so excited to see what everyone else in the collab has made. All of the ladies participating in the collab are awesome. I know you will enjoy their channels. They're always cooking up something delicious. So make sure you check all of them out. I'll have everything linked in the description box below. I hope y'all have a blessed day wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one.